Close meeting.
I make a motion, we exit closed meeting, enter into open session.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Motion's carried.
I'll make a motion to approve the certification of the closed meeting conducted on this date, February 10, 2022, as follows. Whereas the Blaine County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. Whereas Section 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Blaine County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only such public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which the certification applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Is there a second for the motion?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone oppose? Motion's carried. Closed meeting certification is certified. We'll go into open meeting. Welcome everybody to our February meeting of the Blaine County School Board. I'm going to ask Mr. Dwayne Bailey to please provide our invocation for tonight.
Lord, we thank you for this day, God. We thank you for your mercy. We always thank you for your grace, God. We just ask you to bless this meeting, God, to give us wisdom and knowledge in all of our decisions, and let it always be the best for the teachers and students in the county, God, and just give us wisdom. Keep watch over our county and over our kids and teachers as we go through this pandemic, God. We just praise you and thank you for it in your name, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. If you would stand with me, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now look at approving our minutes from previous meetings. Would you like to approve them all together or do them one at a time? Maybe give you a moment to look over them as well.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Is there a second?
Second motion, approve the minutes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. Minutes are passed. Mr. Mead, did you have something to say about School Board Appreciation Month?
Yes, this is School Board Appreciation Week that is sponsored by the Virginia School Board Association. We are members of that. I'm happy to be able to present each of you with a certificate from the President, Teddy Martin II, and from the Executive Director, Gina Patterson. So, Mr. Butcher,
Thanks,
for
sir.
all you do.
Appreciate that.
Mr. Agee.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for all you do. Mr. Bailey, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And Mr. Andrews. Thank you. And I love this.
A lot of folks don't realize how much that these other board members put into the time to serve the county schools, and I know many times it's somewhat thankless. And I say that publicly because sometimes they don't get good phone calls either which way things go. And so, you know, the time that they spend away from their families and the time that they devote to carrying on the business of public education in Blaine County, we appreciate them. So I encourage all citizens in Blaine County to thank their school board representatives for serving them. And So thank you all. Appreciate you, fellow members. Ms. Clerk.
Lenore.
Next thing we'll review is the enrollment report. You'll see a lot of yellow here. With that, our current enrollment stands in January at 711. That is an increase over last year. So with that, you can see the distribution without virtual students. You can see pretty much we're in that 40 to 50 range of number of students. Some classes look like we're over 50. Our out-of-district students, 43 that are in the virtual program, and we're glad that that's doing well, and really laying the groundwork to continue to help school districts educate kids virtually. So looking forward to a future meeting. I believe they've got one coming up in March. We'll be a part of and send you more information as it becomes available. Did anybody have any questions on the enrollment report? All right.
I'm gonna ask a question if I could.
Sure.
Is there an obvious reason that I'm not aware of that the virtual ones are all 10th graders except for one? Is that just where it begins? Is that because of the curriculum or just?
Those are the ones that came to us from out of district, and we didn't. You don't get to pick them from what I understand. That basically these are students that can maintain the GPA as well as academic coursework, and for whatever reason, that's what where they're at in their academic career. Mr. Meade, did you have any more? Is that
You're spot on with that, right?
Appreciate that answer.
We don't have a choice.
Just curious, yeah, I was just curious why.
because I could be wrong, but I think when students are looking for virtual education, they have some options, but a lot of them are choosing the Region 7 Academy because, to be honest with you, and this is what was said in one of the previous meetings, there's really nowhere else in the state that has what's going on there. And we're very fortunate to be a part of it, and I'm glad that we are. I think it's one of the best things that we've done, and if you could say has come out of the pandemic, really. But
And I was thinking about requesting some different grade levels next year.
And you'll see the
Doesn't hurt to ask.
628, and you add that to 43, that gives you the 711 for the month.
Yeah, I was just curious why that one grade, had 42 or 43.
Yeah.
kind of the idea too, we discussed about, how many students were we willing to have in that may be a future conversation to think about, and Mr. Meade to think about as well as what Ms. Day may feel comfortable handling for the next school year and what we may be willing to accept.
I think a lot of that hedges on how these SOL scores come back, because they are not being taught by our teachers, and but yet they're on our roll. So that's what scared us from taking more than what we did. Some school systems have taken an enormous amount of kids, so they're taking on a big risk of not being accredited, but that's the risk that I see.
Any other questions there? We'll move on to financial reports. You have in front of you the revenues which have come in and the expenditures. And you can see the revenues were at 65, almost 66%. And the expenditures, somebody else is there, you can speak it out, is at 50. Yeah, almost 51. So about 15% less than the revenues, which is always a good thing to spend less than what you have coming in, huh?
It'll catch up.
Questions on the expenditures or the revenues? All right, we'll move on. Updates from principals.
Okay, Dr. Estep is sick and went home today early, so he was not going to be able to be here, but he did leave me with some notes to discuss with you. Of course, you've already seen his enrollment. He said as of today, 1 student is in quarantine and 0 staff are quarantined. Key events, he wants to congratulate Morgan Williams, Duncan Moorhead, Eden Collins, Abigail Weber, Alexandra McNeil, and Madison Schultz for their placings in all-district honor band last week in Abington. Vocational, please congratulate Troy Bradshaw for his first place in District 8 carpentry competition for Skills USA. Troy will move on to participate in the state competition, which is held at Virginia Beach in April. Sports-wise, basketball regular season is coming to a close. The district tournament begins next week. They said they're excited about their chances to advance. Both teams are very competitive. Spring sports are quickly approaching, and we're excited to offer teams in all spring sporting categories. Football, cross-country, and volleyball are in the gym and weight room training 4 days a week. He labels this shout-outs. Thank you to Karen and Don Hodock for helping secure an evening VOTEC driver. That is tremendous help. Shout-out to Mrs. Epling and her yearbook staff. The yearbook is coming together nicely, and we're excited to see the finished project. Shout-out to all the MAC participants and coaches. They're having a great season. We're excited to continue to grow our MAC programs. Forensics will be participating in a super regional tournament at the end of February. Good luck to Brooke Hall and her team. Student achievements, Mr. and Mrs. BCHS were crowned at last night's basketball games. Please congratulate Mr. Tanner Myers and Miss Jasmine Hodge as Mr. and Miss BCHS. Planning on moving forward, OSHA testing for vocational students is February 18th. This is free of charge to those students participate. Thanks to Ms. Hodock and Ms. Radford for providing the testing. Thank you to Jake and JDM staff for upgrading the boys' locker room and the gym. We hope to continue to add more weight training equipment to offer our students the ability to train during school hours. He's asking for board help. He said the football field sound system is in need of new speakers. The current ones are unusable. We need financial assistance for an upgrade before graduation if possible. Concert Music World has the pricing. The senior class voted on their preference for graduation. They voted to have an evening graduation at the football field when the graduation date has been set. And they are also still looking for athletic director.
What are we looking at right now as far as school and last days and graduation?
Denise, I think, told me June 10th right now is the last day.
Well, we've missed 6 days of July, so we have to make up the first 5. So we had 2 built into the calendar. So yes, the last 3 will be June 10th.
Okay.
I've been told by, I think, got to me that Ms. Weichel in T1 wants to have graduation date on May 28th. So that'd be a board decision. And, but we've not ever graduated, I don't think, nor this early, and then let school open to the 10th. But that 28th is the Friday before Memorial Day, and that seems to be a pretty popular date.
Okay.
But that'll have to be board decided if you want to vote on that tonight, or you.
No, we'll wait.
We'll wait.
Wait on that one.
Okay.
Mr. Green?
Mike is not here with us tonight. He is with his family tonight. He's got some daughters that are, I know Joe's back there saying, oh, don't get up, don't get up.
Just hand it over and pass him. Just pass him.
Here's his attendance averages.
You can just hand it down.
Try to reach best I can.
We'll get them there to you, bud.
Yeah.
Mike reports with STEM, registration for after-school STEM is still open. We currently have 70 students registered. After-school STEM will begin March 3rd. Transportation. Huh?
You're reading Laura's.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Stealing all your thunder. Yeah.
Man, he had some of the same thoughts.
Mike,
And your microphone as well, sir?
you want to put your mic on?
I should have gone.
Mr.
ahead and
Mead.
finished it and let
Mr.
Laura
Mead.
read mine.
Mr. Mead, do you want to put your microphone on?
I had it on.
You took it off.
When you get to my part,
Advanced age.
there's one statement I'm gonna make and you'll understand why.
It's advanced age. That's what you meant to say. When you get to my advanced age.
Okay, guys, I'm very sorry.
You're good.
But it's getting close to my bedtime or snack time or something like that. So, Bland County Elementary School. Enrollment through 46. Attendance trends. 10 students with COVID-related absences today, 3.4%. 5 of those students have tested positive as of today. 0 faculty, staff COVID-related absences today. 10 students in Region 7 Virtual Academy. Key events, the BMC Dental Clinic was on January 19th, 20th, seeking additional days. Pre-K and kindergarten registration and screening is scheduled for March 7th, 14th, 21, and 28 by appointment only. Autumn Nelson, 6th grade winner. Lane Tillett, 5th grade, 2nd place. Joshua Wilcox, 6th grade, 3rd place, will represent Bland County Elementary School in the Bland County Public Schools Spelling Bee on February 17th. Bible Club will begin meeting on Wednesday, February 9th. Robotics is meeting on Wednesdays. Primary health COVID testing is up and running. Mid-year PALS testing has been completed for kindergarten through 3rd grade. Plans and strategy moving forward. STEM up after school will begin March 3rd. Planning to get BC Jams to begin meeting after school. Recruiting substitute teachers from the community. And I think Laura has about 8 or so scheduled to interview next week. Contractors provided a quote for Door King, and I've got that quote here. I'll pass it around.
Thank you, sir.
Items you need the support or aid of the board to accomplish. Flashing school zone speed limit sign in the front of school. We've had trouble with those signs for a long time, and I keep VDOT says it's not them, the county says it's not them, so it looks like I'm gonna have to start pricing those and see what it's gonna cost us.
At what school?
The elementary school.
It alternates. Sometimes you go up there and it'll be on, sometimes it won't be on at a different time.
And he's got JDM maintenance and custodial concerns is still ongoing. So that's from the elementary school. I'll lay these, the lock quotes out here so you guys can take a look at them. Or you want me to pass them around? It's my turn now?
Yes.
At this moment, yeah. Mr. Mead.
Tyler sent me a request that the lights in the gymnasium there at the high school are in pretty bad shape. There's a couple of them that's just hanging by, what I think, a thread. They kind of are concerning to me. He thinks for $1,000 to $1,200 we can trash those big metal lights and install the small, sleek LED lights according to JDM. So if it's something you'd like to consider and entertain, or you want me to go out and find out more information on, I'll be glad to.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that if JDM can get it taken care of.
I think that falls under their purview, and I mean, you know, you go ahead and see how much it's gonna cost. I mean, if it's less than $5,000, I mean, the thing is those big gym LED, or big gym lights, I mean, a lot of times you turn them off, it takes forever to turn them back on, and going LED's a lot brighter and you can see better, so I think it'd be great.
Does he have an idea how many we're looking at in there?
I don't know, I'd have to go out there and
15,
count. There's one that's on this half of the gym floor, that's hanging way down. You've seen that one, haven't you?
It's in the middle, it's.
I mean-
It's hanging.
You just want to replace ones that need immediate attention then? Okay.
That one I think could be considered a little dangerous, so we need to tackle that one first.
Yep.
Okay, there's some interesting bills in the legislature right now. I ask you to, I think I forward those to you today to take a look at. There's some of grave interest to us as far as the continue with public education in the next 5 to 10 years. So take a look at those, keep an eye on them, write your congressmen, senators about some of the bills that VSBA has asked us to oppose, and VAS has too, Virginia Association of School Superintendents. So keep an eye on those. They're on the floor as we speak. I was out to school last week, and I've got to see, and Anthony probably knows a little bit about this too. I don't want to steal your stuff. But Kara Weichel does an excellent job at the school as far as doing extra things. She's when I was out there, they were loading up cans of food and boxes of food and what it was, and I sent her an email and asked her. She said for our Winter Spirit Week, January 24th, 28th, we had our annual Battle of the Cans. The grades competed against each other to see who could donate the most canned and boxed goods. Our sophomores, you a sophomore? Yes, sir. Our sophomores, including Anthony, won the battle of the 595 items donated. As a school, we were able to donate just under 1,000 items to the Bland Ministry Center.
That's great.
That's
great.
These are the kind of things not a lot of people see, but this is typical of Bland and what we do for our kids in this community. The Bible Club started last night. And from what I added up, it looked like we had around 129 students. Were you there?
Counted 88 there yesterday.
Well, I got a report here that I beg to differ, that says we have 129. So
There might be 129 signed up, but I
Okay.
think there's only 88 that participated yesterday, and more signing up daily.
Okay, all right, thanks, sir.
Country, and she'll straighten me and you both out on that.
Yeah, I see that in her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Winter sports is coming to a halt, and spring's there around the corner, so hopefully we have some good weather. No more snow, no more rain, just when needed. And we can play some
Baseball season's coming, you know it's gonna
We
rain.
can have some baseball and softball, and cross country, or not cross country, track. Looking forward to the spring. I think I've told you that I met with Dr. Workman, and he is arranging a joint meeting with the two boards to discuss budget and finances. He was very excited. He really wants to move forward with renovations at the high school. And we brainstormed a lot of great ideas. I'm anxious for this meeting to happen because since I've been here, I don't think we've had a joint meeting, and this is an exciting time for me. Spelling Bee is here on the 17th, and like I said, I told you all that the graduation date has been requested. We hopefully pass that next meeting. Facility manager started this week. Facility manager went to both schools, did inventory. He, as I showed you, I think I passed it around or sent it to you, that he is proposing what he's going to need. That when he takes over this facility manager, you've got to remember we have not had this on our side since it's been 4 or 5 years ago. So we're going to be in need of some tools and things like that to get him up and going. But he's very excited. He's anxious to get in there and get busy. Also, I plan to retire in June. It's been a wonderful experience working here in Bland. But my time has come, and it's time for me to retire. I have a new granddaughter that's the best-looking baby in the nation, as certified by the granddad.
Certified.
So
The head of the Granddads Association.
I wanted to let you all know so you could start thinking about a replacement and doing a search, but if I can be of any assistance, I will. Bland is a great place to work. There's a lot of good people here. Students are the best I've ever been around. There's an example of one. So I thank you. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this school system.
So the last time we went through, what was the system that we could do a search for?
Through VSBA?
You went through VSBA.
That's right.
You
I
can
don't
do-
think we need to do that this time.
You can do that. They offer that as a service. But if you go on there now, you'll see like there's 5 superintendent jobs open.
Yeah.
But I know there's twice that many.
Come.
I know there's going to be at least 3 in our region. So you don't have to do that.
Right. So when do we need to post that?
I need to give her an official letter and watch her cry. And I was going to bring some tissue tonight.
Plan the party.
I'm in charge of party planning.
Party planning committee?
I was going to bring her some tissue tonight, but I thought, nah, she won't. She maybe compose herself better. But I'll give her a letter, and when I do that, you all decide how you're going to seek your new superintendent.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it already.
Okay. Mr. Mead?
4. I was the 4th choice, I think.
We'll try to speak about you as positive after you're gone as you are while you're here.
I was told today that after I was gone, everything bad that happens will be blamed on me for at least a year.
That's what happened to poor Don Hodock, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's standard.
Everything
issue.
happened, it was
At
all
least a
Don's
year.
fault.
But this has been a wonderful experience. I came here expecting to stay for 3 years, and I've been here over 6.5. And the people I've met, the board members I've served under, the students I've met, it's just outstanding. It's the best I've ever seen. I've been in 3 different school systems, and this is the best one I've ever seen. So I thank you for allowing me to serve for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to hear that.
All right, I guess we'll
Student representative.
move to our student representatives.
Yep.
Why
Yeah.
Why did y'all cut Laura? I
What in
mean,
the world?
Somebody's already said hers anyway.
Well, all right, well,
Oh, yeah.
let's start with Laura.
Who's C?
It's not on here.
Who's C? Denise is C.
Okay, well, Denise.
You thought you was gonna get out of this.
I'll be short and give Lenore some tissues. Just a few things. The door at Building B is finally up and working. Jonathan got that up and working. It ended up being a software issue. Some settings got removed, but he did everything he could think of to get it up and going, but it is up and going now. We're still having some issues, well, we were, with the cameras, but Mike worked with Advanced Network Systems, and I think we might have those good to go now. So I did talk with Mike this morning. We may look at, I need to check the grant because they were purchased with grants money, but we may look at something if we can.
Are these
apply for
security
grant.
cameras or in-classroom cameras or
No,
what?
they're not in classrooms, they're in the hallways
Okay.
and
The buildings
out
outside.
around the building.
How long have we had those? That's
Security
been,
type stuff.
has that been 3-4 years now?
It's probably been what, Mr. Mead?
4?
5 years?
4 or 5?
Yeah, and I think you have to, the grant stated they have to be there either 5 or 6 years, so.
Okay.
We're gonna,
We're
Take a
probably eligible to apply again.
yeah, I think we are, so. Jonathan continues at the high school to do the Chromebooks. Chromebooks are an everyday. I was there today and he was working on several of them today. Mike, every day, the little ones bring them in. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't work. So they work a lot with the Chromebooks. Printers, and I'm sure you all know, printers are the most contrary piece of
Bane.
technology there is. We don't like to work on them. I'd like to take them out in the parking lot, but they've been working on several of those. We finally got the Xerox machine at the high school Jonathan got it up and working. They both work we get tickets every day, so they're constantly working with tickets through SpiceWorks. We installed a new firewall here at the board office. We had issues, which you always do when you install something new, but it's up and going. Mike worked with Advanced Network Systems and they got it up and going, so we've replaced that and got it up to date here. Just again, working through the tickets and stuff like that. We'll start looking at some summer projects here for IT. Replacing some stuff. I want to maybe look at upgrading some wiring and that, so we'll be looking at that. Any questions? Okay, well,
Thank you, Ms. Tate.
Now, Laura.
Okay. So you're gonna hear a little bit of this twice.
It's like deja vu or whatever.
Yeah, all over
It
again.
is. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Registration for after-school STEM is still open. We have 70 students currently registered, so we still have about 30 slots left. And we'll begin that on March 3rd.
What grades is that for?
It is 2nd through 6th grade. We're looking at it, we're gonna give it a few days, and if we don't get enough 2nd through 6th graders, I may open it up to the 1st graders, just depending on how my numbers increase between now and then, so we'll see. Transportation, a couple of things I wanted to share with you. Crystal Sanders completed training to be a school bus driver trainer for us. We're in the process of complying with new regulations from the DMV. We have to be placed on a training provider registry. So once all that paperwork is submitted and we're on that registry, we'll plan on having another bus driver class. But there were some changes to the laws with CDLs. So we're working on that. To go along with that, and I brought this so I could remember this all. Governor Northam approved the use of state activity funds from the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund and the ESSER 2 set aside another fund, our state activities fund, to offer a school division school bus driver incentive grant award. So Beth and I worked on the application for that. We submitted it. We didn't get as much as we wanted, but we did get $13,682.23. Don't ask me how they came up with that number. For school bus driver recruitment, retention, incentive program. We can use it to purchase materials for CDL, for teaching the classes, providing training to get more trainers. So we will be receiving those funds shortly. There was also a competitive grant, ESSER 3 state set-aside funds for before and after school programs. Beth and I worked on an application for that grant. Again, we did not get as much as we asked for, but we did receive $19,132.22 that we can use to support before and after school tutoring. So we're going to be working, or I'm going to be working with the principals to get that organized so that we can get teachers some supplemental pay for putting in those extra hours tutoring our kiddos this spring. So, and that's all that I have, unless you have questions for me. No?
Thank you.
Oh, man,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the student representative.
All right, now we get to the student representatives. It's your turn. You're item E.
It would be E.
E. We have a public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We'll let him go ahead and do his and then we'll ask.
I don't think there is any.
Alrighty, so Ms. Byer will not be attending, and I'll be speaking on behalf of her. She's at a MAC meeting today. So I'll just briefly be going over sports and just what's going on in the school, and then I'll go on to what Paige has to say. So soccer, baseball, softball, and track, they're all starting up, and from what I heard, it's going pretty well. Off-season football is going extremely well. We've changed everything. Coach Hayes has promised us and is still holding strong on that promise with the things that he believes, and it's going extremely well for the weightlifting program and the football season. Basketball is finishing up, and about the ministry, getting the cans and the box foods, it only took the sophomores 4 days to achieve over 400 items.
Oh, wow.
For roughly 2 weeks, we would hear that over the intercom in the morning that the seniors are winning, the seniors are winning. So all the sophomores decided to talk amongst each other, and we accumulated over 400 so items so we can beat the seniors. Now let's move on.
They sandbagged, in other words, is what I'm hearing. It's called sandbagging.
Did you win by 400? That's the
Yeah.
next question.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is.
A lot of ramen, actually.
Yeah.
Ramen. Our teacher, who was
You might need those for
holding all
college.
this, had to hold some of it. She kept some of it hidden so the seniors wouldn't come and find out. But this is what Ms. Byer has to say, and I might be repeating on what was said earlier. Forensics has started practice and is preparing for its first competition on February 19th. 5 band members were also to participate in all-district honor band over the weekend and represented a portion of talent of Bland County bands. We are so proud of Duncan Moorhead, Morgan Williams, Eden Collins, Abby Weber, and Alexandra McNeil for being able to participate in this honor band. MAC season has started, and last night the social studies team won against Rural Retreat. Tonight the MAC team is going to be at Grayson. The Virginia Senior Beta Convention has been moved from in-person to virtual due to the rise of COVID-19 cases. The virtual state convention offers Beta the opportunity to compete in academics, visual arts club, and team-based competitions for a chance to qualify for national convention in Nashville, Tennessee. Mr. and Mrs. BCHS was announced last night at the basketball game, and to congratulate Tanner Myers, who won Mr. BCHS, and Miss Jasmine Hodge, who won Miss BCHS. And that is all. Does the board have any questions for me?
Sounds like y'all are having the time of your life.
Is the weightlifting program stuff going pretty good?
It's going wonderful.
Okay,
I
good.
couldn't be more thankful. It was a rough end on trying to get it and
Yep.
all the situations that have happened, but I'm just thankful that we have a coach, we have a good team. With middle school and high school, we have a combined of a 29-man roster,
Really?
which is a little bit up there from our past previous years.
The morale and everything's pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty high and
it's
everything.
amazing.
What times do y'all lift and stuff like that? Down
So-
here at the baseball field house?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So school finishes at 3:30, that's when the first round of buses go. At 4 o'clock, that's when the second round of buses and the shuttle bus, which is number 10, or the activity bus, we call it.
Okay.
It takes us to here, Bastion, and to the weight room. So we begin roughly at 4:15-ish, so we can get on our clothes or braces or whatever we need to lift.
Yep.
And then we just do our lift from there. It's going great.
Hey, we're glad to hear it, so.
I couldn't be more
And
thankful.
it's supervised and everything? You
Oh,
got-
it's
okay.
it's supervised.
Good
Oh, it
enough.
You're working
definitely
with
is.
the middle school?
I'm
too?
sorry?
You guys are working with the middle school kids as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Who's the coach? Is it Reggie Meadows still?
Reggie's one of them. Spencer Sheets, is he down there?
He does come whenever he can. The 2 coaches have been there since the very first start. Has been Coach Hayes and Coach Coppola.
Okay.
Okay. We'll probably drop by time to time and everything like that, just say hi and stuff, so.
They're doing great.
Yeah.
But thank
Glad to
you.
hear it.
Thank you. Mrs. Parker, was there any public comment signed up for today?
I don't think so.
All right. We will start with our school board. How about Mr. Agee?
So we got the list here of substitute pay and everything like that across with everybody. Everybody was kind of exceeding what we're doing pretty substantial from across. Looking at the counties next to us, With County, and I think you got Wise County on here, kind of surpassed us a little bit on here too. So that's kind of something that we're trying to still look at, or I'd like to see us on where we're at in our budget proposals and stuff on that.
Yeah, I think something we'll definitely talk about. We've got in our action agenda, talk about our next budget meeting and so forth. And so something other different for everybody to be thinking about, where would you like for us to be? Our current rate is currently 65, is that right? 70.
70.
And, say that again.
70 without a degree, 75 with a degree.
75 with a degree.
Yeah, we're way behind them with our other localities next to us here.
I think it's definitely something we need to address.
Yeah, especially trying to get some good quality people.
How many
back in the
days,
county.
any guesstimation, how many days we pay out a year for subs? This is, if you just get a guesstimation. No, nothing.
Because we're relying pretty,
No, I mean, no, not now, just guesstimation for our next meeting, just. Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be exact, and I don't want it tonight, yeah, just.
because we're relying pretty heavily on subs. Is that correct right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Pretty much other than that, I was glad to see everybody come out at the, had a good turnout for Bible club and everything like that, Bible study and stuff, so I'm glad the kids are interested in different things, so, that was a great thing to see, parents involved and stuff like that, picking their kids up and stuff, so. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've got for right now, Preston, that I'd like to see. So,
Mr. Andrews?
I'd like to echo that. Anthony, glad to hear the weightlifting's coming, and that's good. We certainly rely on you to, not as our spy, but, we'll.
Keep us informed.
Be prepared to answer that question, I guess, because that, you'll be the eyes there, and we appreciate that, not just you, but, like JP said, you stopped by, so appreciate that. That's good to hear. I did have a question. The spelling bee that mentioned, where is that at?
Here.
In this room?
Right here in
Okay.
this room.
Good deal.
That day, we'll have, I think, on the 17th, we'll have the spelling bee here, and then we'll also have a MAC competition that evening.
Okay.
So that'll be a big day here for us.
Yeah,
with-
spelling
with the
bee is
kids.
what time of day?
Spelling bee? 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And the MAC starts around 6, I think.
Yeah. Okay, good enough. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I did, as far as something we had talked about, the generators in previous meetings, I've arranged with the AEP representative and a conduit to us or whatever. That's,
And I appreciate you doing that.
yeah, next week, it's Wednesday or Thursday of next week, should be. He's supposed to let me know, but I'll certainly let the principals know, and I'll let you guys know. And then I'll need to get them into each school, but we'll get that. They can break it down like you want it. It can be turnkey, which I told him, let's just start with that, and we'll see what goes. But that's that. There's no issue. I'm glad to do it. Appreciate the efforts of Lenore, everybody, the teachers and the administrators. It's hard. It's a hard job. I agree with Mr. Mead. It's the best kids around. I've seen a lot of kids, been around a lot of kids, and they're good kids, and we need to value that, no doubt. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Bailey?
I know we passed the mandate that was passed. We voted on it the last time from the governor. Now, my 2 cents worth is that I don't like it when big government comes down and tells the little governments what you have to do and push out these mandates. I didn't like it when they told us we had to wear a mask, and I don't like it when they tell you if you don't pass this mandate where the kids can't. You can't set the laws, or you can't set tell the kids that they have to wear a mask. I don't like it that they tell us we'll fine you to do that. That being said, I think we need to really keep a close eye on the coming laws and stuff, because I don't like the fact that they pushed it for the kids, but they didn't push it for the teachers. And I don't like that we have to tell our kids it's optional for the kids, but the teachers have to wear them. So as soon as that comes down and it's passed, I'd like to make sure that we get that taken care of for the teachers. It's optional if they want. I don't like the inconsistencies there. I think if it's going to be for the kids, it has to be for the teachers and stuff too. Also, we talked about it. I'd like maybe on the next board meeting to talk about moving our meetings. We toyed around with the idea of going back to having the closed session at the end of it, so that we're not tying up. We don't always need a whole hour to tie up for a closed meeting or for a closed session. So go back to having our regular meetings maybe at 5. And then when we get done with that, go into closed session. And then if it's short, if it's something we need 10 minutes, and then we can come straight back out. Especially if it's just personnel recommendations, we can clean that up pretty quick and get out.
And it may not even be needed.
Right, and maybe times when we don't need it, and I hate to advertise that we're going to have closed session at 5 to 6, and then the regular meeting, I'd rather have it at 5. So on the next meeting, let's look at going back and changing that. So, and I think that's all I got.
Okay. Well, there's definitely a lot of legislation that's out there that I think we as a school system need to look at, and I want to encourage all my other fellow board members, as well as constituents, even those who work for the school system, to look at what is currently for us and our legislature, and call and voice your opinion. Even though you and I may differ on what you think you want them to pass and what I want them to vote down, but we have that option. And I'll be honest with you, I think so many times we take it for granted. I called Delegate Moorfield the other day to voice support for a bill. They took down my name, number, and told them that they'd let him know that I called. With that, write notes. They see this stuff, and so I just want to encourage you, especially things that Scott sent out about, particularly the rural school funding and other things that you may see come up. I've been asked a question: have we issued contracts for spring sport coaches? Okay. I thought we had approved those already.
Spring sports, I don't think we voted on. We haven't voted on any.
I don't recall it since I've been here.
Not the new board has it.
Okay.
Oh,
Something for us to look at.
having those recommendations yet.
Okay.
Over the last few weeks, Cindy and myself, Mr. Mead, have been talking with other health insurance brokers and consultants and so forth to see what we can do. I know Cindy received our increased letter, I guess you would say, from TLC about the next year's, and that'll be something before the board to decide, what kind of impact that has on our employees. Obviously, we know that many people, when they look at a job, they want to know about the benefits, and we want to do as best as we possibly can. But with that, hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have some things for you to look at to make some decisions on, or there before, and so forth. So, what makes the school system so important is the children. And yesterday, being back inside one of the schools and seeing some of the kids there, and being out of high school and seeing these kids on the court, they're what's special about us. Unfortunately, you and I don't get to go back and relive those days. We think about it, don't we? You probably think about it when you were in high school quite often. And I was thinking about it today. You and I now have in our hands the opportunity to make an impression on them and to encourage them to be all that they can be. Their potential is so great, and never before have we been able to really make our mark on society in Blaine County than with these children. And I want to say thank you to everybody that does that on a day in, day out basis, especially those that put up with my kids. Thank you for the chuckle.
There's a lot of silence there.
Yeah, a lot of silence.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Blessing ain't got there yet. It's coming. Yeah, no. You say I'm gonna retire for them. No, hopefully not. All right, I think that's all I want to say tonight. With that, we're gonna go to, look to approve payments. Before you, we have, I believe, is it just one? No, it's two. Two disbursement runs. One for $174,760.36, and the other one for $81,448.76. You want to approve those together or separately?
We approve them together.
Approve them together, okay. Would there be a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the payments, both sets.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion to approve the payments as listed.
All in favor of approving payments, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. O&M projects. Mr. Mead?
Yep. I guess basic maintenance is going on, but I think the project that we just mentioned in my little spiel is the one that's really needed right now, and that's those lights in the high school. I'll call John. Lights need to go.
And the other thing we need to do is start pricing on barge units, see if we can secure those. You can get Mr. French on that, and
Yep.
we need to start looking at getting that ready for the summer. We need to get all that lined up, because, you know,
Yeah,
that's what
it's,
kind of delayed our opening. We don't want to, hopefully it won't do it this year. but-
Since you said that, thank you. Coal went up $21 a ton.
Yeah.
This last time we ordered, it went up $21 a ton. And I think it's gonna be really, really hard to get coal
Yeah.
from here on out. And we've got to move on that, and
We really need to get Building B taken care of for sure. And
Yep. The other thing I was gonna say about the gym lights is you may go ahead and ask them, you know, what would it cost, you know, not just to fix the ones that need it, but also just to go ahead and replace all of them so it gets a uniform look, especially glare on the floor with players and so forth, kind of give it a uniform shine and,
if it's going to be up there, then we need to quote it out.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, quote it, but like I said, you know.
well, anything under 5 is what they call micro
Right.
bid or whatever, so we can go ahead and do that. And over 5, we need to get quotes, and over 15, we need to get bids, so.
right.
And it may be with LED coverage, there may not be the need for as many as there is with
Oh, I'm
those old
sure.
style.
Right.
So they can be done. There will be a different light. You'll want the rest of them replaced as soon as you do it, usually, typically in a setting such as that.
I know a shop we was in before that, they replaced a few and it made dark spots on the floor because of how bright it was. So, what was the rekeying, quote for, that Mr. Green had received?
He's got it says a subtotal here is $9,547
Okay,
from Mountain State Locksmith and Safe Services in Bluefield, West Virginia.
is that just for doing the outside doors or all of them, or?
I think that's basically all of them.
Yeah, the outside doors wasn't that much, I don't think.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's not as much as I was thinking it would be.
No, I thought it'd be a lot more than that, too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's something that we need to consider. As far as moving ahead with that, I think we would need to post that out there so that could be official.
Yeah, you'll need quotes on that, and Mr. French, it'll be part of his new job responsibilities, so,
I'd like to get that lined up maybe for the summer, for a good summertime project for the elementary school or something.
Well, and you know, you think about it, even if you gave somebody the job, for them to get all of them locks and get everything keyed before they come and install it all, it might take them until summertime to do that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something that the board would like to go ahead and make a motion to bid out, and that way we kind of put some wheels in motion to,
I'd be willing to make that motion to go ahead and start that process to look at doing those
We
locks.
need to change the agenda?
yeah.
O&M, okay, yeah.
So basically, what we're looking to do is just bidding out the door locks at the elementary school.
I mean, you can call it bid, but all you need is quotes.
Yeah,
Quotes,
quotes,
yeah, we don't
yeah.
need a bid.
Yeah,
I'll-
Get that done.
I'll make that motion to get those quotes on that project at the elementary school for the locks.
Yep, I'll second the motion on that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. Anything else about O&M, members?
No, I just want to state, I know Mr. French is going to be new here, so I know he's got a lot to do, but we need to start getting lined up for the summer. It's going to be
Yeah, that was the whole premise of getting him here
Yeah.
now. We couldn't wait till June 30th and
Yeah.
then turn over. Well,
Yeah.
we got a lot of work to do this summer.
yeah.
We need
We
to be
want to
up and
start
ready.
securing the barge units if we can, so.
If the last day of school is the 10th, 11th, we need to be ready to roll.
Right.
So, and that's how we did the elementary. We still
Right.
got setbacks there. We were, COVID hit us and
Yeah.
with workers and some of the things were back ordered, so.
And that's another project that I think we need to look at for the next meeting, to possibly look to reach out to those particularly that's helped us in the past on elementary school, but also to put that out for bid so it's public, so that we can go ahead and solicit that to get things lined up, because May and June was gonna sneak up on us real fast. So keep that in mind, and if you don't mind to remind us of that for the next meeting.
About May and
Put
June.
those things out to bid for the barred units and electrical work.
Yeah, because what we might do is, since we're getting out of school so late, and we was pushed behind because of the elementary school, we started late because of the work here at the elementary. We don't want to end school late and then have to start late again. We may just focus on building B, get pricing on changing the lights out and barge units, and maybe just do that whole job on B. Since you're going to be up there doing that, maybe you're going to be pulling power and stuff. Why not just look at changing lights out, going with LED through it possibly, and then just do B if we have to, because we don't want to be pushing. We don't want to be pushed back too late starting school.
I know it's costly, but I would recommend the board to get an architect to draw that up. That really helps us if something goes wrong. Instead of us having to take on all of it, the architect has to. So, I can get you some more information on that.
Okay.
But it'd be nice to have a schematic and a plan that we can look at for future people down the
Yeah.
road. To know what's there and how it was put in and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it helps us to follow code but there'll be a cost with that. Architects don't come cheap.
Yeah.
I have some really
Well, we
good,
probably want to go ahead and, since we have them, maybe have them do both buildings,
right.
and then get it done at one time. And then even if we only do the work to B this year, we might be able to sneak it in both in, but I don't know,
I know several architectural firms that I worked with when I was
the,
in the other system.
whatever the next meeting is, if we have a budget meeting, you can just,
Okay.
Have something ready to go.
yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is Jdm Property Management. As many of y'all know, our facilities, we have outsourced the janitorial and maintenance duties to Jdm over the last year and a half. And with that, we appreciate them in this time that we have had our ups and downs, no doubt, as every organizations do. But we do appreciate them.
COVID was a
COVID
big
was
workaround.
it changed things
Yeah.
very much. And, we've had a lot of things to overcome, and they've been a partner with us. So we do appreciate them. At this meeting, Mr. Mead, did you have anything to add about that, particularly before we?
Nothing more that we need to get, if we're not gonna take on those services, we'll need to have a board to vote on that
Yeah.
we are gonna cease with those services as of June 30th.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and draft a letter and let them know that we are not be going with them after June.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion
All right,
to draft that letter.
all right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. All right, budget meeting.
Let's see.
We do have a couple of, just to kind of remind everybody, we do have a couple of faculty school board meetings coming up. So do want to remind everyone about that.
We
I
moved
was was wanting to say one of them's next Tuesday. And I feel certain, yep, next Tuesday we will be at the high school at 4 o'clock. Is what I have here to meet with faculty there. And be a time for us to listen, see what faculty and staff think is important to them with this next year's budget. And then we will be at the elementary school on the 24th at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And
Yeah, and let, kind of let the teachers know that, give us a wish list of things that they'd like to try to see in the, what we need to do, elementary and high school. Reach out to the principals and tell them, give us a wish list. And it'd be nice if we had our meeting with the Board of Supervisors before this, but it won't happen, so.
Yeah.
And I was looking here to see, we've got a date scheduled for transportation, but I don't have it in my calendar for some reason. Does somebody else have that date on your calendar?
I don't know that we set a date for transportation, did
Got
we?
it. It was in March.
I thought it was
We
the
did.
first. I have it here as the first.
March 1st, yeah.
Okay, I didn't have it here. I'm gonna make sure, see if I missed it.
What was it, 9? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna hold it here.
March 1st, 9 a.m. for the transportation folks and anybody else, if they're staff and they're off and they'd like to come by or whatnot, let us know their thoughts on the budget. Things we need to think about.
What was the date on the elementary? I've got it at home. I don't have it with me.
24th of
24th?
February.
24th.
Okay.
So since we're looking at March, are we still doing what time are we gonna do our meeting now on the 10th of March? Are we gonna start it at 6?
I think we're gonna pretty much, we need to start it just like what we have,
Regular time,
originally, open with closed session at 5 and then regular meeting at 6, and then y'all think about what you wanna change. Dwayne's proposed, he'd like to see us, start maybe at 5, and then, if we need to have a closed session, we'll have it, and then we can, discuss whatever we need after we do most of the, business of our meeting.
And that way, the people here in the office that's here, they can kind of kick off after that. They don't have to stick around. They don't have that dead hour between 5 and 6, so.
I think it'd be good.
Not that it's
So,
dead, but.
something to think about,
Sure.
It's,
Well, as Mr. Meta said, there may not be a need for
Yeah.
a closed session, and that
Yep.
certainly, if there ain't no need for one, we don't need to,
Yeah.
just don't need to do it, so.
as far as the budget meeting, while we're here and discussing this, Lenore, and JP's already mentioned, she's, figured out what the rates are for surrounding, or did we have to adjust the rate, or was it our current rate okay to meet the $11 hour minimum wage? It was good? Okay, so next year, minimum wage goes to $12. With that as well, our salary scales, things for you to think about. Lenore printed out packets from area school districts as far as teacher salaries, support salaries. I haven't had time to review all these, but those that's in there, as well as what Lenore gave you at the last meeting with our current salary scales and what we'll have to adjust coming up at the next meeting. So be thinking about those things, thinking about what's important, look at the money and the dollars, and also realize we do have a fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayer excuse me, to do what we can. What else do we need to talk about there? Ms. Lenore, anything else?
Schedule when you want to have your next budget meeting.
Okay.
We had that down, didn't we?
I don't think we did.
Not,
We didn't?
You did the,
we
Public
did, we said we were
hearing.
gonna talk to teachers and bus drivers and then have ours. That meeting should happen, I think, after we have the joint meeting with Dr. Workman.
Okay.
And he said, he's talking about mid-March.
Okay.
Wouldn't we wait until the House met and everything like that and give us
Yeah,
our
because
budget?
I hope they,
Because we had some April dates down for some meetings, I think, and I didn't bring my paper down. I
I'm
had all
trying to
those
look
dates
here
on.
to see what's what.
I know. I left it on my computer at work, at home, at home.
the,
My notes, public hearing on 4/14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the public hearing, but we need some meetings, I guess, before that, so.
Well, we'll need to meet after we talk to Dr. Workman and
Yeah.
there's board supervisors too, so we'll have
Yeah.
a good idea from there.
Had that.
I will, something off the record here, don't jump me. You hear me? Don't jump me. I'll draft a letter on this contract tracing that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll send that out to you all for approval over email if you can, so I can get that out and get it going.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep.
That's
All right,
fine.
thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, anything else about budget? Budget meeting, okay. Last thing on our action agenda is personnel recommendations, and I believe we have, one.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I recommend that you approve Tessa Nelson as a substitute teacher, cafeteria worker, or car driver.
Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion to accept their suggestion or recommendation.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, accepting it. So,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion's carried. Appreciate another person signing up to be a substitute, and always remind folks that you may be around or suggest if they would like to help us be a substitute, and they get to do it when they desire to.
Right.
It's an option. We
Good
might
job.
be able to hire Mr. Mindy. to come
Good
back
job
to be
for a retired
substitute.
person, isn't it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'll make a motion,
with
we
that-
adjourn.
With that, we'll come to adjournment.
Yeah.
We've got a motion, is there a second?
Yeah.
second the motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Good night, everybody.
Nay.
Nay, nay.